Okay, what if I told you there's a simple trick that could turn your leftover carbs, yeah, your pasta, your rice, into a genuine superfood? It's a total game changer, and believe it or not, it's probably hiding in plain sight, right inside your refrigerator.
I know. It sounds completely backward, right? The idea that the pasta from last night, the one you're about to pop in the microwave for lunch, could actually be better for you than when you first cooked it? It's a weird thought, for sure, but stick with me on this.
Now, this isn't some new fad diet or a magic trick. It's just pure, fascinating food science. The simple act of cooling and then reheating starchy foods can fundamentally change their molecular structure, and that change alters how your body digests them, and most importantly, how they affect your blood sugar. So, how in the world does this work? Well, it all comes down to a process that transforms that starch from something your body digests really easily into something that's, well, resistant. Okay, so when you first cook pasta or rice, the heat and water cause something called gelatinization. You can kind of think of the starch molecules uncoiling and turning into this soft, accessible gel. Your digestive enzymes can break this down super fast, and that's why you get that quick energy release and the big blood sugar spike that follows. But when that starch cools down in the fridge, that's where the magic really happens. This process is called retrogradation. Those loose starch molecules start to line back up, packing themselves together into a really tight crystalline structure. And this new form, it's tough. It's tough for our enzymes to break down. It has become resistant.
So you end up with two completely different paths for the exact same food. On one hand, you have the hot, gelatinized starch. That's the fast track to a sugar release. But on the other hand, you've got the cooled, retrograded starch that resists digestion, giving you a much, much lower impact on your blood sugar. Same food, totally different effect on your body just by changing the temperature.
And this awesome new structure actually has a scientific name. It's called type 3 resistant starch, or RS3 for short. The key word here is resistant, because it means it literally bypasses digestion in your small intestine and starts to act a lot more like a healthy prebiotic fiber than a simple carb.
All right, so that's the theory. But let's look at the proof on the plate, because the data on this is it's genuinely fascinating. So researchers at the University of Surrey tested this with pasta, and the results were just stunning. Freshly cooked pasta, as you'd expect, caused a big blood sugar spike. Chilling it helped a little bit. But get this, cooking it, cooling it, and then reheating it, that slashed the blood sugar rise by a whopping 50%. It seems like that whole cook, cool, reheat cycle makes that resistant starch even stronger.
And it's not just a pasta thing. The same exact principle works for one of the world's biggest food staples, rice. You could call it the yesterday's rice phenomenon.
The numbers here really tell the story. Freshly cooked white rice has a pretty tiny amount of resistant starch, but after just one day, 24 hours in the fridge, that amount more than doubles. The rice's structure is fundamentally changing just by sitting in the cold. So what does that mean for your blood sugar? Well, it leads to about an 18% reduction in your total glucose response. That is a really significant change, making yesterday's rice a surprisingly powerful tool for anyone trying to manage their metabolic health. This even works with something like white bread. Just toasting a fresh slice lowers the glycemic response by about 25%, which, hey, that's pretty good. Now, freezing it and then defrosting it is even better. That gets you a 31% reduction. But here's the magic combo. You freeze it, you defrost it, and then you toast it. That gives you a massive 39% drop. But wait, the benefits here go way beyond just blunting a blood sugar spike. This new resistant starch is basically a type of fiber, which means your gut is about to thank you big time. So what's amazing is that this RS3, it makes this long journey completely undigested all the way to your large intestine. And that's where the real party starts. At this point, it's no longer food for you. It becomes food for all the beneficial bacteria living in your gut. So when those good bacteria have a feast on all this resistant starch, they produce these incredibly beneficial compounds called short-chain fatty acids, or SCFAs. One of these, called butyrate, is actually the #1 preferred fuel for the cells that line your colon. This whole process helps strengthen your gut and has even been shown to improve your body's overall insulin sensitivity. It's a win-win. And if you thought that was cool, it gets even better. This isn't just a one-and-done deal. There's something called the second meal effect.
It means that eating resistant starch in one meal, say for lunch, can actually improve your body's blood sugar response to your next meal, maybe hours later at dinner. It provides this long-lasting metabolic stability that carries over through the day. Okay, so you're probably sold on this by now, but how can you actually put it into practice? Let's get to the action plan. It's called the Cook, Cool, Reheat Rule.
It is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Seriously. First, just cook your pasta, rice, or potatoes exactly like you normally would. Second, and this is the most important part, cool them down in the fridge for at least 12 hours. 24 is even better if you can. And finally, when you're ready to eat, just reheat them gently. A microwave or a light sauté is perfect. It's that simple.
Just a few quick reminders here. This truck works best with starches that are high in something called amylose. That's a type of starch molecule that just forms tighter bonds when it cools. So think long grain rice over, say, sticky rice. Also, and this is really important, food safety first. Always cool your cooked food down quickly before you stick it in the fridge to prevent bacteria from growing. And finally, remember to reheat gently. If you reboil it, you can actually undo all that good work.
So the next time you see that container of leftover rice or pasta in the fridge, don't just see a quick meal. See it for what it actually is, a potential superfood transformed by nothing more than a little bit of time and temperature. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Could one of the simplest keys to better metabolic health already be waiting for you, right inside your own fridge?